Girls Under Pressure by Jacqueline Wilson. Chapter 1. Model Girl. It's all my idea. Let's go Christmas shopping on Saturday, I say to my two best friends, Magda and Nadine. Great, says Magda, who lives to shop. Sure, says Nadine, but she looks surprised. I thought you always made your own Christmas presents, Ellie. Yes, well, I think I've grown out of that stage now, I say hurriedly. We've always had this silly tradition in my family. I'd think of a theme and then make everyone a present based on it. There was the year of the stripy hand-knitted scarves, the wobbly vases the year I joined the pottery class, the cross-stitched canvas purses. I made them for everyone, friends as well as family, and because people were polite, I thought they really liked my loopy, homemade junk. I've known Nadine since we were both 5, so she's endured years of fraying dresses for her Barbie dolls and lumpy little felt mice. When she started secondary school, I made Nadine a black and silver friendship bracelet. I made one for Magda in pink and purple. They seemed to like them. They both wore them for a while anyway. Last Christmas I made special boxes for all the family, studded with beads and shells. I used licorice all sorts for eggs boxes, but he tried to lick them through the glaze and hurt his tongue. Typical. Dad and Anna act like he's an infant prodigy, but I think he's got the brains of a flea. I pondered long and hard over boxes for Magda and Nadine. In the end I made Nadine a silver box with a painted silver shell design. I did an identical one in gold for Magda. She opened hers as if she was expecting something inside, and then she asked if I'd be making her a gold necklace to go in it next year. She was joking, I think. I suddenly felt about Egg's age. We'll go around the Flowerfield shopping centre, I say firmly. We'll buy all the presents for our families, and then we'll split up for a bit and buy each other stuff. And then we'll go to the soda fountain and have a milkshake, says Magda, getting more enthusiastic by the minute. The soda fountain recently opened up on the Flowerfield's basement floor. It's like those shiny ice cream parlour places you see in old American movies. It's become the in place to hang out now, rumoured to be great for meeting boys. If there's one thing Magda likes better than shopping, it's boys. Lots of them. Nadine sighs and raises her eyebrows at me. She's seriously off the opposite sex at the moment, ever since she got heavily involved with this creep Liam, who was just using her. She doesn't want to go out with anyone else now. Magda wants to go out with a different boy every night. I'm not sure what I want. It's not like I get that many offers anyway. Well, there's this boy Dan I met on holiday. He's my sort of boyfriend. I don't see him much because he lives in Manchester and he's younger than me and looks a bit weird. He is definitely not a dreamboat. I shall have to get him a Christmas present though. Goodness knows what. I've had this sudden brilliant idea of buying Magda and Nadine underwear from Knickerbox, red satin flowery knickers for Magda, black lace for Nadine, and then I could get Dad a big pair of Marks and Sparks boxer shorts and Anna some pretty prim white panties. Eggs could have Mickey Mouse knickers. I've been warming to the universal knicker present. But I can't give Dan underpants, though I know exactly what sort, a wacky pair with a silly message. I decide I'll have a good look around on Saturday and see if I get any further inspiration. I go over to Nadine's house around 10. Her dad's outside washing his car. He's the sort of guy who worships his car, spending hours and hours anointing it every weekend. Hello, curly knob, he calls. I force a cheery grin and knock at the door. Nadine's mum answers, in an old jumper and leggings, with a J-cloth in her hand. She's obviously dressed for serious house cleaning. Hello, dear, Nadine's in her bedroom, she says, sniffing disapprovingly. Hello, Ellie. I'm helping Mummy, says Natasha, waving a feather duster from the living room. Natasha is still in her cutesy pie pyjamas and fluffy slippers. She's dancing around to some silly cartoon music on the telly, flicking her feather duster as she goes. Isn't she a good girl, says Nadine's mum proudly. I try to manufacture another smile. Natasha rushes at me. You look dirty, Ellie, she says. She prances around me, poking her feathers right in my face. There, I'm wiping all the dust off. Oh, sweet, says her mum. Ouch. Natasha, that hurts, I say, my smile now very sickly indeed. Natasha is the only 6-year-old in the world worse than my little brother Eggs. I sidle past and run up the stairs to Nadine's room. It is wonderfully black and bleak after the glaring patterns in the hall. Nadine is looking glamorously black and bleak herself. Her long, black hair hanging loose, her eyes heavily outlined with black kohl, her face powdered white as chalk. She's wearing a black skimpy sweater, black jeans, black boots, and, as I come into her room, she pulls on her black velvet jacket. Hi, what are those weird red marks on your face, Ellie? Your delightful sister has just been seriously assaulting me with her feather duster. Oh, God, sorry. Don't worry, she wants a new Barbie doll for Christmas. I'll customise one. How about Killer Barbie with a special sharp little dagger that whips out of her dinky stiletto? Remember all our Barbie doll games, Naddy? I liked it when we turned them all into witches best. Oh yeah, you made them all those little black frocks and special hooked noses at a plasticine. Wicked. We both sighed nostalgically. I used to love playing with plasticine, I say. I still like mucking around with Egg's little set, though he's got all the colours mixed up. OK then, that's your Christmas present solved. Your very own pack of plasticine, says Nadine. I don't know what I'm going to get Magda, though. She was hinting like mad about this new Chanel nail varnish, but I bet it costs a fortune. I know, I'm a bit strapped for cash too, actually. It's all right for Magda. Her mum and dad give her that socking great allowance. My dad gives me exactly the same as Natasha. For God's sake. In fact, Natasha ends up with heaps more because they're forever buying her extra stuff. So lousy having a sucky little sister. Just as bad with a boring little brother. That's why Magda's so lucky, because she's the spoilt baby of the family. Magda certainly shows stylish evidence of spoiling when we meet up with her at the Fallowfield shopping centre entrance. She's wearing a brand new bright red furry jacket that looks wonderful. Is that your Christmas present, Magda? Nadine asks. Of course not. No, I had a little moan to Mum that although my leather jacket is ultra hip, it isn't really warm. So she had a word with Dad and we went on a little shopping trip and voila! She turns and twirls around in the jacket, turning up the collar and striking poses like a fashion model. Looks fantastic, Magda, I say enviously. Hey, what about your leather jacket then? Don't you want it anymore? I've been longing for a leather jacket like Magda's for months. I've tried dropping hints at home. Hints. I've made brazen pleas. To no avail. Dad and Nana won't listen. I have to put up with my boring old coat that doesn't do a thing for me. It makes me look dumpier than ever. I know it's too tight over my bum. I'd have sold my soul for Magda's soft, stylish leather, but now her furry scarlet jacket is even better. Nadine fiddles at Magda's neck to have a deck at the label. Wow, whistles, says Nadine. She bought her black velvet at Camden Market. It's a bit shabby and stained now, but it still looks good on her. Anything looks good on Nadine because she's so tall and thin and striking. Come on then, you two. Shopping time, I say. Do you really want plasticine, Ellie? Nadine asks, linking arms. I wish I was made out of plasticine. Then I'd roll myself out, long and very, very thin. I'd stretch my stubby fingers into elegant, manicured hands. I'd narrow my neck and my ankles. I'd scrape huge, great chunks off my bottom. I'd pull off all my brown, wiry hair and make myself a new long blonde hairstyle. Ellie, says Nadine, you're dreaming. Yes, dream on, Ellie. I don't really know what I want, I say. Let's look around for a bit. Should we go and see the teddy bears, says Magda. I think they're really cute. At Christmas time, the Fallowfield Centre updates its mechanical singing teddy bear display. They sprinkle fake snow over the flowers, dress the teddies in winter woolies, turn the biggest teddy into Tubby Christmas with a red robe and a cotton wool beard, and a few parcels and presents and a glittery tree, and change the tapes inside the bears. Bananas in pyjamas and Teddy Bear's Picnic get a rest. The bears let rip with jingle bells. They jingle those bells over and over again. I had to stand in front of those bloody bears for over half an hour last time I was here with Eggs, I say. I can't take any more torture, Magda. At least Eggs doesn't dance to the music, says Nadine. Natasha waits till she's got a good audience and then points her toes and flits about. It's the most utterly emetic sight ever. You're a couple of sour old bats. I want to see the teddies, says Magda. She puts her chin down and pouts. Me want to see the teddies. You look like a bloody teddy in your new jacket, Magda, I say. Watch out the Fallowfields people don't plonk you down beside Tubby Christmas, make you sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But we let Magda hover around the bear pit for a couple of verses, just to show willing. Nadine starts yawning and wanders off. Hey, what's going on? Up on the top floor. She's looking up past the fountains and bubble lifts and the giant Christmas tree to the top floor balcony. I peer short-sightedly behind my glasses. There are crowds of people up there in a long queue. They'll be waiting to see Father Christmas, the real one. You believe in Father Christmas, Ellie? How sweet, says Magda, tapping her foot and clicking her fingers to jingle bells. The guy dressed up as opposed to the singing teddy, I say. They're a bit old for Father Christmas, aren't they, says Magda. They're girls, our age, lots and lots of them. A light keeps flashing up there and an excited buzz circles the atrium. Is it television, says Nadine. Wow, I hope so, says Magda, adjusting her fairy jacket and fluffing her hair. Come on, let's go and see for ourselves. There are too many people waiting for the bubble lifts, so we go on the giant escalator. As we get nearer the top, I start to focus. There are hundreds of teenage girls milling about up there, and big banners everywhere, with the Spicy logo. Spicy, the magazine, says Magda. Are they doing a special promotion? I hope they're giving out free goodies. Come on, you two, let's get in the queue, quick. She dashes up the last stretch of the escalator, her patent boots shining. Come on, Ellie, says Nadine, starting to run too. I think Spicy sucks, I say. I don't really want any of their freebies. Then you can use them for Christmas presents, right? Says Nadine. So the three of us join the queue. It's so jam-packed and jostling that we have to hang on hard to each other. It's horribly hot at the top of the building. Magda unbuttons her jacket and fans her face. Nadine's ghostly pallor pinkens. Maybe this isn't such a great idea, I say. I'm squashed up so close to the girl in front of me that her long silky hair veils my face. Everyone's so much taller than me. I try craning my neck, but the nearer we get to the front, the harder it is to see what's going on. Lights keep on flashing, and every now and then there's a squeal. But they're playing such loud rock music, it's hard to hear what anyone's saying. Magda? I tug her furry sleeve, but she's bouncing away to the music and doesn't respond. Nadine! She's tall enough to see, and she's staring transfixed. What's happening? I yell at her. She shouts something about a competition. Do we have to go in it for... do we have to go in for it? I say, sighing. I don't think I'll be any good at a spicy competition. I don't know much about music. I don't even bother reading NME. Nadine will do much better than me. Or maybe it's a fashion competition. I still haven't got a clue. Magda talks designer labels like they're all personal friends of hers, but I don't even know how to pronounce the Italian ones, and I can never work out what all those initials stand for. Let's go and shop, I beg. But there's a little surge forward, and suddenly Magda shoves hard, tugging us along after her. We're almost at the front. I blink in the bright lights. There are huge spicy posters and lots of promotion girls in pink t-shirts rushing around taking everyone's names and addresses. Each girl goes up in turn to a backdrop and stands there looking coy, while a photographer clicks his camera. There's a very pretty girl having her photo taken now. Long hair, huge eyes, skinny little figure. She poses with one thumb hooked casually in her jeans. She pouts her lips just like a real model. The next girl's really stunning too. I look around, they all are. And then at long last, the penny drops. This is a modelling competition. Oh my God, I gasp. Magda darts forward and claims her turn. She takes off her jacket and slings it over one shoulder, her other hand fluffing up her bright blonde hair. She smiles, her lipstick glossy, her teeth white. She looks good. She may be too small, but she looks really cute, really sexy. Wow, get Magda, I say to Nadine. Come on, let's get out of here. But Nadine is still staring. I pull her. She doesn't budge. Nadine, please, they'll think we're going in for this model competition crap, I say. Well, we might as well have a go, eh, says Nadine. What? It'll be a laugh, says Nadine, and she rushes forward to give her name to a girl in pink. I watch Nadine stand in front of the camera. It's suddenly like I'm watching a stranger. I've always known Magda is seriously sexy and attractive. She looked pretty stunning at 11 that first day I sat next to her at secondary school. But I've known Nadine most of my life. She's more like my sister than my friend. I've never really looked at her. I look at her now. She stands awkwardly, not smiling, with none of Magda's confidence. She's not really pretty, but I can see the girls in pink are taking a real interest in her, and the photographer asks her to turn while he takes several photos. Her long hair looks so black and glossy, her skin so eerily pale. She's so tall, with her slender neck and beautiful hands and long, long legs. And she's so thin, model girl thin. You're next. Name, says a pink t-shirt, shoving a clipboard in my face. What? No, not me, I stammer, and I turn and try to elbow my way back through the huge queue. Watch it. Hey, stop shoving. What's her problem, eh? Surely she doesn't think she could make it as a model. She's far too fat. Too fat. Too fat. Too fat. Too F-A-T. Chapter 2. Elephant Girl. I run to get out of the centre. I want to run right out of myself. I'm surrounded by all these perfect, pretty, posing girls. I'm waddling way down at their slender waist level, the dumpy, fat freak. Ellie, hang on. Where are you going? Wait for us. Magda and Nadine are chasing after me. I can't escape. I've got tears in my eyes. Oh God, I blink and blink. Ellie, what's up? Magda says, catching hold of me. Are you crying? Nadine says, putting her arm around me. Of course not. I just needed some air. It was so hot, crammed together like that. I felt faint, sick. I still do. Magda backs away a little, getting her new fairy jacket out of vomit range. Let's go to the ladies' room, says Nadine. We'll get you a drink of water. You haven't gone white, says Magda. In fact, exactly the opposite. What a shame you missed your turn to be photographed. We can always go back and queue up again, says Nadine. No thanks, I say. I don't want to turn. I didn't have any idea it was for a crappy competition. I mean, who wants to be a model? My voice cracks. I don't think I'm convincing either of them. Oh yes, it'll be such an ordeal, says Magda. Think of all the money, the fame, the travel, the super clothes. Oh, dreadful. God, Ellie, don't be so stupid. Lay off her, Magda. She's not feeling well, says Nadine. Anyway, it's not like we've got any chance. There were heaps and heaps of really gorgeous-looking girls having a go. Yeah, I reckon half of them were semi-professional anyway, which isn't fair, says Magda. They natter on about it endlessly. I listen hard when I go into the loo. Are they whispering about me? Are they raising their eyebrows and shaking their heads over poor, plain, plump Ellie? My eyes smart. Tears spurt down my cheeks. I have to take off my glasses and dab my face dry with loo roll. I don't want to come out and face them. I don't want to face anyone ever again. I could be Ellie the reclusive loo squatter. I could set up home in this tiny cubicle. It could be quite cosy if I had a sleeping bag and my sketch pad and a pile of books. In medieval times, troubled young girls locked themselves away in tiny cells in churches. No one thought it strange at all. Nowadays, there might be an initial flurry of media interest. The lass locked in the ladies. Schoolgirl Ellie stays sitting on the loo for third day running. But eventually people would take it for granted that the end cubicle on the right in the Flowerfield shopping centre ladies' room is permanently engaged. Ellie, are you all right? What are you doing in there? I have to come out. I try to chat as if I'm perfectly okay. I traipse all around the shopping centre looking for Christmas presents. It's no use. I can't make up my mind about anything. I could buy Magda the red knickers and Nadine the black, tiny wisps of underwear, size small. They wouldn't fit me. I'm not medium. Soon I won't even be large. I shall be outsize, Ellie the elephant size. I keep catching glimpses of myself in windows and mirrors. I seem to be getting squatter by the second. Magda drags us into Stuck on You, this new ultra-hip clothes shop that's just opened at the Flowerfield shopping centre. It's agony. I'm surrounded by skimpy little garments, skirts that would barely fit around one of my thighs, halter tops I'd have to wear as bangles. The assistants are staring at us. There's a 6-stone girl dressed in black with short white hair and rings in her nose and navel, and a slender black guy with a diamond ear stud in a tight white t-shirt to show off his toned body. Let's go, I beg. But Magda is eyeing up the boy and wants to try stuff on. Nadine is gazing enviously at the clothes and is happy to hang around too, so I have to wait for them both, feeling more and more like a guinea pig in a ferret's cage. Don't you want to try anything on too? The white-haired girl asks. That's what she says, but she's smirking as she says it. It's as if she's underlining the fact that nothing in the shop would fit me anyway. Hey Nadine, Magda, I hiss through the changing room curtain. I'm going home, okay? What? Oh, Ellie, don't go all moody, says Magda. We'll only be a minute. Can you ask that guy if he's got some jeans in another size? You ask him. I really have to go. Are you feeling sick again, Ellie? Says Nadine. Yes, I want to go home. Well, wait and we'll take you home, says Nadine. I can't wait, I say, and I make a run for it. They're still in their underwear, so they can't come after me. I rush through the Flowerfield centre. Up at the top, the lights are still flashing and the queue is even bigger. And all around me there are girls much taller than me, much prettier than me, much, much, much thinner than me. I really do feel sick. It's no better when I'm out in the open air. The bus going home lurches so much I have to get off several stops early. I walk through the streets yawning with nausea. I catch sight of myself in a car window, yawning hippo girl. Thank God there's no one at home. Dad has taken Egg swimming. Anna's gone up to London to have lunch with some old school friend. I go straight upstairs to my room and throw myself on my bed. The spring's grown under my great weight. I rip my glasses off and bury my head in the pillow, ready for a long howl. I've been fighting back tears for hours, but now I can cry in peace. They won't come. I just make silly snivelling noises that sound so stupid I shut up. I roll over onto my back. I feel my body with my hands. They mountaineer up each peak and descend each valley. I pinch my waist viciously to see if I can grab a whole handful of fat, but my clothes get in the way. I unbutton my sweater and pull it over my head. I struggle up off the bed. I remove everything else. I can see my reflection in the wardrobe mirror, but it's just a pink blur. I put on my glasses. It's like I'm looking at my own body for the first time. I look at my round face with its big baby cheeks and double chin. I look at my balloon breasts. I look at my flabby waist. I look at my saggy soft stomach. I look at my vast wobbly bum. I look at my massive thighs. I look at my round arms and blunt elbows. I look at my dimpled knees and thick ankles. I look at my plump padded feet. I stand there feeling like I've stepped into a science fiction movie. An alien has invaded my body and blown it up all out of recognition. I can't believe I'm so fat. I've always known I'm a bit chubby, plump, biggish, but not fat. I whisper the word. I think of greasy swamps of chip fat stagnating in the pan. I look at my body and see the lard beneath the skin. I start clawing at myself as if I'm trying to rip the flesh right off me. The girl in the mirror now looks crazy as well as fat. I turn away quickly and pull my clothes back on. My jeans feel so tight I can barely do up the zip. My sweater strains obscenely over my breasts. I brush my hair to try to cover my great moon face. I keep having one more look at myself to see if I might have changed in the last 2 seconds. I look worse each time. I've never exactly liked the way I look. I suppose it was different when I was a little kid. I can remember my mum brushing my wild curls into 2 big bunches and tying them with bright ribbons, scarlet one day, emerald green the next. "You look so cute, Ellie," she'd say, and I felt cute. Maybe I even was cute in my dungarees and stripy t-shirts and bright boots to match the ribbons. I was cuddly, that was all. I was definitely cute, with my happy hairstyle and big dark eyes and dimples. But then my mum died. Everything changed. I changed too. I felt empty all the time, so I couldn't stop eating. Donuts and sticky buns and chocolate and toffees. The sourer I felt inside, the more I had to stuff myself with sweets. So I got much fatter. And then Dad noticed. I frowned whenever I read, and I had to wear glasses. And Anna, my new stepmother, tried to dress me in conventional little girly outfits that made me look like a piglet in a party frock. I knew this, but somehow I still stayed me inside. I could still act cute. People still liked me at school. They thought me funny. They wanted to be my friend. Even at Anderson High School, I still fitted in. I wasn't the most popular girl in the class. I wasn't the cleverest. I wasn't most stylish or streetwise. I didn't come top in anything apart from art. But I was still one of the okay girls. I wasn't a swat. I wasn't a slag. I wasn't a baby. I wasn't covered in spots. I wasn't fat. Not really fat, like poor Alison Smith in our year, at least 15 stone, waddling slowly up and down the corridors as if she were wading through water, her eyes little glints inside the huge padded cage of her head. I give a little gasp, another stare in the mirror. I know it's mad, but I'm suddenly starting to wonder if I'm actually as fat as Alison. Fatter? If I don't watch out, I could become an Alison. I'm going on a diet. I'm going on a diet right this minute. It's lunchtime. Magda and Nadine will be sitting in the ice cream parlour sharing a chicken club sandwich with crisps and little gherkins, sipping huge frothy strawberry sodas. My tummy rumbles. "Shut up," I say. I punch myself hard in my own stomach. "You're not getting fed today. Do you hear, you great big ugly gut?" It hears, but it doesn't understand. It gurgles and complains and aches. I try not to pay it any attention. I get out my sketch pad and draw myself in elephantine guise, and then I pin the picture above my bed. Then I draw myself the way I really want to be. Well, I want to be 5'8", with long, straight blonde hair and big blue eyes, only there's no way this could ever happen. No, I draw myself the way I could be, if I only stuck to a proper diet. Still small, still frizzy-haired, still bespectacled, but thin. I wonder how long it will take. I'd like to lose a couple of stones at least. I went on this diet once before. It was all Magda's idea. The aim was to lose a couple of pounds a week. It's not going to be quick enough. I can't stand being so fat. I want to change now. If only I could unzip myself from chin to crotch and step out of my old self, sparkling slim. I wonder if Magda will go on a diet with me again. She was useless last time. She only managed a couple of days, so I gave up too. But then Magda doesn't really need to lose much weight at all. A few pounds and she'd be perfect. And as for Nadine, I think of her standing there at the Spicy Magazine competition, effortlessly, elegantly skinny. I don't know what I think about it. I'm pleased because Nadine's my oldest friend. I'm envious because I'd love to be that thin. And I'm angry because it's so unfair. Nadine often eats more than me. I've seen her eat 2 Mars bars on the trot. OK, she often skips meals too, but it's not deliberate. She just forgets because she isn't always hungry. Not like me. I'm ravenous. I hear Dad and Eggs come back from swimming. There's a lot of chatter down in the kitchen, and then this smell. It wafts under my bedroom door, over to my bed, up to each nostril. Oh my God, Dad's frying bacon. They're having bacon sandwiches. I love bacon sandwiches. Dad's not that great at cooking, but he does wonderful bacon sandwiches, toasting the bread and spreading it with great puddles of golden butter and crisping the bacon until they are so slimy, fatty bits. "Hey, can I have a bacon sandwich?" my mouth shouts before I can stop it. I hurtle downstairs and Dad looks surprised to see me. "I thought you were out somewhere with Nadine and Magda." I don't have to conjure up some convincing explanation because Eggs starts talking non-stop. "I dived in, Ellie. A real dive. Well, the first time was a sort of fall. I don't really mean to do it, but then Dad said go for it, Eggs. That wasn't a fall, it was a dive, so I dived again. I dived lots. Guess what? I can dive." "Big deal," I say, breathing in the bacon smell. I can scarcely wait. I want to snatch it directly from the frying pan. "You can't dive, Ellie. Not like me. I can dive. I'm a good diver, aren't I, Dad?" "Sure, little Eggs. The best. Though Ellie can dive too." "No, she can't," Eggs insists, outraged. Can, I say childishly. You can't, because you don't ever go swimming, says Eggs, with 6-year-old logic. She used to be a cracking little swimmer once, says Dad, surprisingly. Remember when we used to go, Ellie? Hey, why don't you come on Saturday with Eggs and me? Yes, then I can show you how I can dive. I bet you can't dive. Well, not the way I can. I want the first bacon sandwich, Dad. Dad, I want the first one. Pipe down, Mr. Bossy, says Dad, and he hands the sandwich over to me. It's not often I get put before Eggs. I smile at Dad and then wonder if he's just feeling sorry for me. Maybe all that snivelling has left my eyes puffy in my great big piggy face. I look at my bacon sandwich sizzling in splendour on the blue willow pattern plate. I pick it up, and it's still so hot I can hardly hold it. I raise it to my lips. There's a little fold of bacon poking out of the toast, glistening with goodness. No, not goodness. Badness. Fat. To make me fat. How many calories are there in a bacon sandwich? I don't know, but it must be heaps. If I eat pig, I'll turn into a pig, a great big swollen-bellied porker. I imagine myself a vast sow wallowing in muck, and I put the sandwich back on the plate. Here, Eggs, you have it if it means so much to you. Really, says Eggs, astonished. He takes a big bite immediately in case I change my mind. Well, you have this one, Ellie, says Dad. I'm not really hungry, actually, I say. In fact, I feel a bit sick. Maybe it's the smell of the bacon. I think I'll go to my room. Ellie, I thought you looked a bit odd. I hope you haven't got some dreaded bug, says Dad. I go upstairs, my tummy feeling like a huge cavern, my mouth slavering like a waterfall with that glorious smell. I want a bacon sandwich so much. Just one won't hurt. No, think pig. Big, big, big pig. I draw an Ellie pig upstairs. I start on an entire menagerie of outsized Ellie animals. Ellie warty warthog, Ellie snaggletooth rhino, Ellie blubbery seal, Ellie humpback whale. I hear the phone downstairs and then Dad calling. It's Nadine. I don't want to talk to Nadine just now. Tell her I'm not feeling very well. I'll call her back. I hear Dad muttering. Then he calls again. She wants to come round to see you, okay? No. I jump up, hurtle downstairs and snatch the phone from Dad as he's about to put it down. Nadine? Oh, Ellie, what is it? You just ran off. There's a buzz behind her. She's obviously still out. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've just got this bug or something. I feel sick. You're sure that's what it is? It's not that we've done something to upset you? No, of course not. Magda thought it might be the modelling thing. She said you seemed fine before that. Well, Magda's talking rubbish, I snap. Let me speak to her. No, she's gone off too, says Nadine. We went to the soda fountain, right? And there were these boys and they were all going on somewhere else and they asked us too and I didn't want to go, but Magda did. I get the picture. So can I come round to your place, Ellie? I know you don't feel very well, but you can just loll on your bed and take it easy if you want. Well, I say, weakening, and I need your advice. You see, this photographer guy, you know, the spicy one, he told me he reckoned I was really in with a chance. He said they'd be getting in touch with all the possibles quite soon, and we'd have to go to this new photo session in a proper studio. And I don't know what clothes to wear, whether to go dead casual in jeans or whether they expect you to dress up in all sorts of fashion stuff. And then there's makeup. Do you think Magda would do it for me? Because she's much better at that sort of thing. What about my hair? Do you think the ends need cutting? Ellie, are you still there? Nadine, I really do feel sick. Don't come round, eh? I'll phone you tomorrow. Bye. I can't stand to listen to Nadine another second. She's obviously getting in a twitch about nothing. This photographer probably says that to all the girls. And there were so many pretty ones there today. Lots of them were heaps prettier than Nadine. She won't get chosen. She won't get to be a spicy cover girl. Oh God, what's the matter with me? Nadine's my best friend. I want her to get chosen. No, I don't. I do, and I don't. I can't stand feeling like this, jade green with jealousy. I creep back to my room, feeling like I'm covered in shameful green slime. I don't feel like drawing anymore. I tried to find something to read. Mrs. Madley, our English teacher, said, we've all got to read Jane Eyre over the Christmas holidays. Everyone's outraged and says how can they possibly plough through such a huge, long, boring book? I moaned too, of course. Catch me letting on that I've already read it for fun. I liked the video of it, so I thought I'd see what the book was like. Anna's got an old Penguin copy. Maybe I'll get stuck into Jane Eyre again. Perhaps I'd better try to be as highbrow as possible, seeing as I'm so hideous. And it's a good story. Jane's okay. At least she's not pretty. I read and read and read. It's fine at first. I like all the little girl Jane bits because she's so fierce. And then when she's sent away to school and starving all the time, I identify totally. My tummy's rumbling so crazily, I'd wolf down Jane's bowl of burnt porridge. No problem. Though porridge is ever so fattening, isn't it? That's the trouble. Jane might be plain, but she's this skinny little thing. People go on about it all the time. I start to get irritated. What's she got to grouch about if she's tiny? And Mr. Rochester loves her. Why can't they both shut up about the first mad wife up in the attic? I skip forward to find the bit where Mad Bertha growls and bites. My heart starts thumping as I read the description. She's not just hairy and purple, she's got bloated features. It says she's corpulent, as big as her husband. Rochester says, is it any wonder that he wants Jane? He asks them to compare Jane's form with Bertha's bulk. He doesn't want Bertha because she's fat and mad, but maybe she only went mad because Rochester didn't fancy her anymore when she started getting fat. Maybe Dan won't fancy me. Well, I don't fancy him. I mean, he's okay. He's funny. He's my friend. We sometimes fool around together. But he's just too odd and geeky and immature to be a real boyfriend. He's never seen things that way. He's been nuts on me ever since we met in the summer. He's travelled down from Manchester to stay with me, and he writes heaps of letters. He phones every now and then just to say hello. I suddenly run downstairs and start dialing. You okay now, Ellie? Dad calls. He's sprawling on the sofa with a can of beer. Eggs is sitting on Dad's stomach sipping Coke. They're both dipping into a big bowl of crisps, watching football on the telly. I think of a salty golden crisp cracking inside my mouth. Water oozes over my tongue. I'm so hungry. You ready for something to eat yet? Dad says, proffering the crisp bowl. No thanks, I say, turning my back. One crisp would be fatal. Then there'd be another, and another, until I'd munched the lot and licked round the bowl for the crumbs. The phone rings for ages at Dan's house. One of his even geekier brothers answers. He starts waffling some nonsense about Dan being otherwise engaged. At last, Dan comes to the phone himself. Hi, it's me. Hi, says Dan. There's a little silence. I thought he'd act more thrilled. I've never phoned him up before. It's always him phoning me. What was your brother wittering on about? Oh, nothing. You know what he's like. Dan sounds awkward. What are you phoning for, Ellie? Just to say hello. Right, well, hello. I wait, and there's a long pause. Well, can't you say something else, I say. You're not saying anything either. I don't usually have to. He's the one who burbles 19 to the dozen. I can't normally get a word in edgeways. But the edges are wide open now. What have you been up to, I say limply. Well, right now I'm watching the match on television. What, football? A Man U playing? Rugby? What? Rugby? You hate rugby? Everyone hates rugby. I've got quite interested recently. It's a great game, actually. There's a distant roar, his end of the phone. Oh, nuts, I've missed a try, says Dan. Don't let me keep you then, I say sharply, and I slam down the phone. Chapter 3. Great Art Girl. I can't sleep. I lie on my back and think food, F-O-O-D. If I breathe in deeply, I can still smell the takeaway pizza they had for supper. Dad ate a good half of it. Eggs nibbled the topping and the crusty bits. Anna went without, saying she'd eaten a lot with her friend, and I said I still felt sick. I feel sick now, sick with hunger. My tummy is like a geyser, gurgling endlessly. I'm so hungry it hurts. I groan as I toss and turn. I feel like a baby bird with its beak gaping, cheeping non-stop. Think cuckoo. Great big blobby baby cuckoo, twice as big as the other birds, far fatter than the frantic step-parent feeding it. That's me, that's Anna. I'm sick of her being so much skinnier than me. I'm sick of being Nadine and Magda's fat, dumpy friend. I'm sick of being fat. I'm sick. Think sick to stop yourself eating. I've got to lose so much weight. I've got to get thin. I've got to. I'm out of bed, running barefoot down the stairs into the kitchen. Where's the pizza box? I thought there was a huge great slice left. Oh God, did Anna dump it straight into the dustbin? No, here it is. Oh, food. The pizza is cold and congealed, but I don't care. I bolt it down, barely stopping to chew, tearing off great chunks. I even eat the bits that Eggs has licked. I run my finger round the box. I get a carton of milk from the fridge and wash it all down so quickly the milk dribbles down my nightie, but I'm still not satisfied. I feel hungrier than ever. I go to the bread bin and make myself a jam sandwich, then another, then spoonful of jam by itself. More. Now, what else is there? Frosties. I eat them straight out of the packet, scooping them up in my hand. And there's sultanas too. I'm cramming so many into my mouth I nearly choke. I cough and a disgusting slurp of sultanas dribbles down my chin. I catch sight of myself in the skinny, shiny kettle. I can't believe what I look like. Total crazy woman. Oh God, what am I doing? What have I eaten? I can feel the food going down into my stomach. It's starting to hurt. What am I going to do? I run to the downstairs loo by the back door. I crouch over the toilet. I try to make myself sick. I heave and heave, but I can't do it. I shove a finger in my mouth. It's horrible. Oh, my stomach, 2 fingers. I've got to. Oh. I'm so sick. So horribly, revoltingly, disgustingly sick. Slowly. Again and again and again. I have to hang on to the edge of the toilet to stop myself falling. Tears stream down my face. Sweat runs down my back. I pull the chain and then try to get up. The room's spinning around me. My throat burns and my mouth stays sour no matter how many times I swill it with water. Ellie? It's Anna in her blue pyjamas, her page boy hair ruffled, so she only looks about my age. Oh, you poor thing, have you been very sick? Mm-hmm. Come here, let's get you sorted out. She puts the lid down on the loo and makes me sit on it. Then she runs the towel under the tap and gently mops my face and hair as if I were eggs. I lean against her weakly and she puts her arm around me. This is weird. Anna and I are acting like a regular mother and daughter. We never ever act like this. I made it quite plain right from the start when she came to live with us that I didn't want another mum. I had a mum, even if she was dead. 4 years I wouldn't let Anna near me. We didn't exactly fight. We were just like 2 strangers forced to live under the same roof. Just recently we started to get a bit closer. We go shopping together, or we watch a video, or we flick through a glossy magazine. But it's just like sisters. Big sister, little sister. Well, I'm bigger than Anna, not taller, fatter. It's so unfair. Why do I have to be fatter than everyone? Tears are still running down my cheeks. Hey, says Anna gently, wiping my eyes. Do you feel really terrible, Ellie? Yes, I say mournfully. Have you got a bad tummy ache? Headache? Anna puts a hand on my forehead. I wonder if you've got a temperature. Maybe I should call the doctor. No, I'm okay. I was just sick, that's all. Probably just something I ate. You're still ever so white, and you're shivering. Anna leads me into the kitchen and gets her old denim jacket that's hanging on the back door. Here. She wraps it around me and sits me down at the kitchen table. Do you want a drink of water? I sip it delicately. Your dad said you've been feeling lousy all day, not eating anything. Anna sighs. I wish I could say the same for him. Look at the state of the kitchen. He must have had a secret midnight feast, and then he moans because his jeans won't do up. Why does he still try to squeeze himself into those jeans anyway, I say, feeling guilty that Dad's getting the blame. He just won't admit that he's too fat, says Anna, sticking everything back in the food cupboard. I'm even fatter, I say, the glass clinking against my teeth. What? Don't be silly, says Anna. I am, and I didn't even realise. I mean, I knew it, but it didn't really bug me. But now, oh, Ellie, you're not fat. You're just rounded. It suits you. It's the way you're supposed to be. I don't want to be fat. I want to be thin as you. I'm not thin, says Anna, though she looks like a little pin person in her schoolboy pyjamas. I wore my old black leather trousers today because they're about the only sexy garment I've got nowadays. I was so desperate not to look dull and mumsy and suburban, but the zip's so tight now I could barely breathe. It was cutting into my stomach all through lunch, which was not a success. Oh God, Ellie, this friend of mine, Sarah, she looks incredible. She's got this fantastic new hairstyle, all blonde highlights, and the shoes she was wearing really high, and the way she walked in them. Every man in the restaurant was staring at her. Yes, but you don't want to look like some blonde bimbo, I say. But she's not a bimbo. She's the top designer for this new fashion chain. They're even going to be bringing out her own label, Sarah Star. She showed me the logo, 2 big S's in shocking pink. Oh, Ellie, she's really made it big now. She kept politely asking me what I'm doing, and I had to say I haven't even got a job at the moment. You've got eggs to look after. Yes, but it's not like he's a baby. And Dad? Okay, he is a baby, says Anna, smiling at last. But even so, I just feel... Anyway, I'm going to try even harder to find some work, even if it's just part-time. And I'm going to do something with my stupid hair. And I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going on a diet too, I say. Oh, Ellie, look, you're still a growing girl. Exactly, growing fatter and fatter. Well, we'll see when you're better. I do hope you haven't got gastric flu. It sounded as if you were being so terribly sick. I'm fine now. Really, I'm going back to bed. Ellie, you're acting sort of funny. Anna looks at me worriedly. You would tell me if there was anything really wrong, wouldn't you? Yes? Well, no. I can't tell Anna my throat is raw and my stomach still heaving because I've eaten half the food in the cupboard and then practically clawed it out of my insides with my own hand. What sort of mad revolting loony would she take me for? I go back to bed and pull the covers right over my head. I remember this game I played when I was little, after my mum died. I'd kid myself that when it was morning I'd wake up in a different parallel life, and Mum would be sitting on the end of the bed smiling at me. It was years before I gave up on that game, but now I catch myself playing a new version. No Mum, no Ellie either, not the old one. I'll wake up and I'll get out of bed and pull off my nightie, and then I'll peel off my extra pounds too, and there I'll be, new, little skinny Ellie. The old huge fat Ellie sleeps late and slouches to the bathroom in the morning. I can smell faint eggy toasty smells. Oh God, hope they've all finished eating when I come down. Dad is on his third coffee and delve into the biscuit tin stage. Eggs is busy making some kind of collage with macaroni and what's left of the sultanas. I can't look at them without feeling sick. Toast, Ellie, says Anna. No thanks, just coffee, black, I say quickly. Look at my lovely picture, Ellie. Look, says Eggs. You still not well, chum? Anna said. You were probably sick in the night, says Dad. I'm okay, I just don't fancy anything to eat yet. Are you sure? Yeah, maybe I'll go back to bed in a bit, okay? It'll be easier avoiding food upstairs, and if I can sleep, I won't be feeling so starving hungry all the time. Well, we were planning on eating out at lunchtime and then maybe having a little jaunt somewhere, says Dad. To see some pictures, Dad says Eggs. Look at my picture, Ellie. See what it is. Yes, macaroni and sultanas, very fetching, I say. You lot go out. That's fine with me. I'll just flop around. But I haven't got any food in for your lunch, Ellie, says Anna. I missed out on the big Saturday shop because I was seeing Sarah. I'll cook myself some eggs or something. It's okay, I say. It's a lady, Ellie. Can't you see? The macaroni is all her curls, and the sultanas are her eyes, and her nose and her smiley mouth, see? Well, she's got a dirty nose and very black teeth, and she's having a seriously bad hair day, I say. Don't be mean to him, says Dad, giving me a little nudge. Come out with us, eh? You'll feel better for a bit of fresh air. No thanks. Nadine rings around 12, pained that I haven't phoned her back. She wants to come round this afternoon, and she's still burbling about her hair and her makeup and her clothes in case she gets selected as a spicy cover girl. Nadine, look, wait till they get in touch with you, right? I'm not quite bitchy enough to add maybe they won't, but I imply it. I won't. Be prepared, Ellie. Please, can I come round? Nadine lowers her voice. My gran and grandad are here, and this happy families lark is getting way too heavy for me. They're all gathered around Natasha just watching her, as if she's some little television set or something, and my God, is she performing with her volume turned right up? Oh, Nad, I say, weakening. Look, I don't know what help I can be. I'm no expert when it comes to makeup and stuff. Why don't you go and see Magda? I expect Nadine to say that she and I are best friends from way back and that she wants to plan it all with me. Then I'll swallow the last sour jealousy pill and ask her over and fuss round her like a real friend. I'll try terribly hard not to mind that she's got serious model girl potential and I'm just her fat freaky friend. Oh, I've tried Magda. She's so great with makeup. I thought she'd maybe trim my hair for me too, but she's going out with this guy she met at the soda fountain. Not the one she really fancied. This is his friend. But life's like that. Anyway, I can come over, Ellie, can't I? Straight after lunch. I take a deep breath. Sorry, Nadine. We're going out for lunch, and then on up to town somewhere, I say. See you tomorrow at school. Bye. You're coming, Dad calls from the kitchen. Great. I wish you wouldn't listen to my phone calls. They're private, I say, and I'm not really coming. I just said that to get out of seeing Nadine. Of course you're coming, says Dad. And what's up with you and Nadine? I thought you two girls were practically joined at the hip. Have you broken friends? Of course not. You make us sound like little kids, I say haughtily. Just don't break friends with Magda too. She's a really cracking little girl, says Dad, with a touch too much enthusiasm. Stop bugging Ellie, says Anna sharply, and Magda's young enough to be your daughter. So I end up going out with Anna and Dad and Eggs to this tea shop in Clapham. It's a great place, actually, with lovely deep blue and pink decor and Lloyd loom cushioned chairs and round glass-top tables. All sorts of interesting people hang out there. Students, actors, huge crowds of friends or romantic couples. But it's not the place to go with your parents. I feel a total idiot, convinced everyone is staring at this sad fat girl who has no social life of her own. And the menu is agony. I read my way through all the delicious choices twice over. Bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwich, smoked salmon and scrambled eggs, bagels, scones with jam and cream, cheesecake, banoffee pie, sticky toffee pudding. Just a black coffee, please. Isn't there anything you fancy, Ellie? Dad says worriedly. What about chocolate fudge cake? I thought that was your favourite. Oh, Dad, they're all my favourites. I could easily eat my way through the entire menu. I'm almost crying with hunger as I look at everyone's piled plates. She's still feeling a bit queasy, says Anna. But you'll have to eat something, Ellie, or you'll pass out. I end up agreeing to a plate of scrambled eggs. Eggs aren't too fattening, are they? though they come with 2 rounds of golden toast glistening with butter. I tell myself I'll just toy with a forkful of egg, but within 5 minutes my plate looks as if it's licked clean. There, great. You've obviously got your appetite back, Dad says happily. So how about a wicked cake too? Yes, I want cake, Dad, says Eggs, although he has only nibbled his prawn sandwich. He pulls out every prawn and puts them in a circle on his plate. Eat them up, Eggs, says Anna. They don't want to be eaten. They want to have a swim around my plate, don't you, little pink prawnies, says Eggs. He's playing up to his audience in sickening fashion. All those little prawns want to swim in your tummy, Eggs, says Dad. Open your mouth and I'll make them dive in. Oh, please, he's not a baby, I hiss. Have to sit through this entire performance and then watch while Eggs is rewarded with a strawberry mountain cake. He eats the strawberries and leaves the mountain of cream after 1 or 2 token licks. I want to snatch it up and gobble it down. Have to clench my fist to stop my hand reaching out. I think of myself as a mountain with little strawberry blobs in appropriate places and manage to resist. Anna sips her coffee without obvious envy. Dad wolfs down a whacking great slice of banana cake with no inhibition whatsoever. His shirt buttons are straining, his belly bulging over the top of his jeans. He doesn't seem to care. And it's so unfair. It's different for men. Women still seem to fancy my fat old dad. This pretty waitress in her tiny skirt has a happy little chat with him as he pays the bill. She's so skinny. Her skimpy top only just reaches her waist. And as she moves, you can see her beautiful flat tummy. How does she work here, surrounded by all this superfood, and not eat? Oh God, I'm so hungry. The scrambled eggs and toast have made me even hungrier, and it gets worse when we park the car near Trafalgar Square and go in the National Gallery. I don't mind art galleries, but they always make me starving hungry, especially after the first 15 minutes when I'm starting to get bored. I get bored very quickly today. Eggs is being ultra-exasperating, asking endless idiotic questions. Who is that funny little baby? Why does that pretty lady in blue have that gold plate around her head? I can see the donkey and the cow, but why don't they have any pigs and chickens on their farm? All the people in the gallery smile at him. Dad explains, going into great long rigmaroles, although Eggs isn't really listening. Anna pats him on the head and picks him up to show him special things. I pretend I'm going round the gallery by myself. The paintings start to soothe me. I stand for ages in front of a serious pale woman in a sumptuous green velvet dress, sitting on the floor engrossed in a book. I feel as if I'm being sucked right into the painting. But then I'm dragged off to another part of the gallery and Eggs starts his little act again. He clasps his hand and pops his eyes at a painting called The Origin of the Milky Way. Ooh, look at that lady. Isn't she rude, he pipes. I sigh. Anna shushes. Dad tells Eggs that it isn't rude at all. Not when it's a great painter illustrating an extraordinary myth. I think she's rude, says Eggs. She is rude, isn't she, Ellie? I find the painting a bit embarrassing myself, but I affect a lofty air. You're just too young to appreciate great art, Eggs, I say. No, I'm not. I like the art. I just think it's rude. That lady's got wobbly bits, just like you. I know he just means breasts, any shape or size, but the word wobbly still makes me want to burst into tears. I feel myself going hot, a bright pink wobbly blancmange. I'll meet you lot at the entrance in half an hour, right? I say, and I shove off quickly by myself. The word wobbly wiggles around in my brain like a great worm. I try to absorb myself in the art. Now I'm on my own, but it doesn't work. I find I'm just staring desperately at every painted woman to see how fat she is. It's hard to tell with all the virgins because their blue robes are voluminous. I concentrate on the nudes. The thinnest is a languid pin-up Venus wearing a huge fancy hat. 2 strings of beads and nothing else. She poses suggestively, one arm up, one leg bent. Her beautiful, long, lean body makes me think of Nadine. There's another, rounder Venus kissing a very young Cupid, while all sorts of strange creatures cavort in the black background. She's disturbingly sexy, very aware of all her charms, not really thin, but well-toned and taut, as if she worked out in the gym every day. She's the spitting image of Magda. I look for myself. I don't get any further than Rubens. I look at double chins, padded arms, flabby thighs, domed stomachs, enormous dimpled bottoms. 3 huge hefty women are being offered a golden apple. They look as if they eat an entire orchard of apples every day. I am never going to eat again.